I think it's expected to expect the unexpected from DreamWorks as a whole. This is the one company that would produce some of the most masterful, beautiful animated films of all time, or they make Shark Tale and B-movie.
1738.
I'm like, hey, what's up, hello?
Compared to other Western animated juggernauts like Disney and LEMMiNation, you kind of expect the same thing from them. In Disney's lane, you're either getting a serious piece from Pixar that can tackle a serious adult issue in a smart, meaningful way that can help teach kids and entertain adults, or you get a story about a quirky nobody who goes on an epic adventure. Don't get me wrong, some of it could be good or even great, but some of it feels samey about it. And LEMMiNation is just a content farm. They pump out the most bare bones generic movies that don't amount to anything. But DreamWorks is a mixture of both blends, where they can rely on the same franchise a bit, but they can get weirdly experimental and make a fucking Captain Underpants movie. There's a more of a change of style, direction, and concept that goes around in the studio, which can result in something bad like Academy nominated Boss Baby, or something great like The Wild Robot. I didn't expect much out of this film because I didn't know much about it. I barely saw any ads for it, there was no huge announcement for it. The best I saw was Pedro Pascal was in it, and that's about it. After hearing the spread of how good this movie is, I decided to spend my night watching it, and I really admired and enjoyed it. I enjoyed the characters, I like the basic and simplistic story that it has, I enjoyed how vibrant and how heavily motioned the animation is without sticking out like a sore thumb. The story has a simple plot of a robot taking care of a youngling bird to get it to develop so it can migrate for the winter, but that comes with a good narrative of motherhood, betrayal, fighting one's love and affection for another, and making friends with those you might find to be a complete opposite of yourself. There's a lot of characters who barely have any screen time and barely add to the story, but they're still memorable afterwards, and I think that's because of the performances. I think the performances from all the actors and actresses really add a lot to it. Lupita has a perfect voice for sounding like a Siri type, and even has the same monotone you can hear when she feels sad or feels loved. And while I give the credits to the performances and such, I feel like there was one missed opportunity with the villain barely being there. I don't think she was terrible, I think the actress was pretty good, we just didn't get much of her. I think the animation is downright gorgeous and so lively and expressive. I love how the robot moves and how satisfying everything is panned out. I think you can tell this is a mixture of the director's previous works, as it has the same fast-paced movement and wide scope of How to Train Your Dragon, and the same sort of art style of a painted look like Lilo and Stitch. I especially love the nighttime scenery, and in later parts of the film, I love the way they animate a forest fire. That sounds fucked up, but it looks very, very beautiful. If only California could look like that. I think the main draw of the film is the loving mother and son relationship between Roz and Brightbill. Yeah, that's the name of the bird. It's shown to be a simple plot of a robot who has no hint of emotion or feelings, given the task of taking care of a baby goose after killing its mother. It has simple jokes of Roz being clueless and taking everything too literal, and so that's where Finn comes in, where he's basically a guardian for both Brightbill and Roz. Over time, it comes to show the development and struggles of being raised with someone who is different from you, who is not your real mother, and denying the fact that they care for you like a mother. Also, the constant denying and hiding one's emotion for one another, knowing that deep down inside their processing cord, they love one another. Even changing courses of being told that you have one purpose that you can't break out of. You'll have the freedom both physically and emotionally to express how you really feel. I think it comes down to showing love for one another, or being friends, or making connections in a positive way, even if someone is different from you. And sometimes you can make an impact that is greater for the rest if you manage a path and remember that they will always be in your heart. I love this movie, and I really recommend you go watch this movie if you have the free chance to do so. And I'm giving this movie a 9.5 out of 10. Moral of the story, I cried like a little bitch.
The working ways.